Hey, everyone. Welcome to Shooting the Shit on Saturday night. I am your host, Jason Rumble. And this week, we'll be bringing you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but we'll, in general, be talking some wrestling. Without further ado, let me bring in to you first, Mr. MVP, straight from his hospital bed in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, located at his mom's house. How's everything going, brother, this evening?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. I got a nice new speaker so I can hear things loud and clear.
Perfect.
Excellent. Next, let me bring in on assignment this evening, live from the back room and parking lot of Atlantic Pro Wrestling, the one, the only, the APOC, as you see on his hat this evening, the stiff one himself,
Yo.
the inventor, the originator of the clown posse himself, Mike King.
Well, there's a bunch of clowns in this room, so that's what I have to go with.
Yeah, I know, buddy. And you're one of you're the leader of the clown crew.
That's okay. So, real quick, then I have to go. I'm gonna drop a little knowledge on you. And Jason, I've sent you who I talked to off camera.
Yep.
NXT is not being run by Vince McMahon or Kevin Dunn or anybody of that nature. Yes, Vince McMahon oversees everything, but Shawn Michaels is now in charge of NXT.
Okay.
Cool.
Do me a favor. I want, while you talk to that individual, I want you to ask him why the hell do they have those ridiculous glass barricades? Do they plan on not doing outside stuff in the ring? Because the way that looks is dangerous to me. I want to know.
I asked them that. It's due to COVID right now.
Yeah.
They're going to get rid of them eventually. He said a lot of the talent likes the wide openness. Then I can now see the fans and interact with the fans more. So
yeah. But there's no barricade. That's what I mean. At least the old one had the glass with the barricade.
You're right. I agree. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't like it, but it is what it is right now. And
I thought it was. I'll go on, Mike. I myself personally thought it was a beautiful look, other than the glass barrier.
Yeah, I did too. It's not bad, but again, it is what it is.
With the people they presented on that show and the way the show went, I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a good show.
So a lot of the reason why you're seeing all these new people, it's the method of sink or swim. They're throwing them out there, either sink or swim, and if you sink, you're out.
Well, Rick Steiner's kid proved himself.
Yep.
He does not deserve to be pushed right to the moon, though, right away. People like Cameron Grimes and others of that nature should not be stepped upon just to get these jacked up juice monkeys on the top. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Even though Cameron Grimes is billed as $1 million champion, he should have been in that 4-way match at the end of the night.
So I was also told
that young kid.
Go on, Mike, before we have to lose you.
Yeah, I was also told that the whole Adam Cole being a manager is completely false.
Okay.
And up until the last minute, he was staying, but it was all about this.
So you think he got more than $1 million from Tony Khan?
Yep. Absolutely.
Interesting.
He was staying up until 2 days before All Out.
Interesting.
So I'm sure, the James Forbes of the world are going to discredit what I just said, but I've proven who I was talking to and can't say it because he's not supposed to be here. So I'm going to keep that kayfabed. But I sent you a picture.
I know that. I seen it earlier.
How's your show going, Mike?
Not bad.
How's the house?
Good, actually, pretty good. We were a little nervous, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta get back in there, boys.
Catch you later, Mike.
Definitely. We'll talk
All right.
more. I'll post some more stuff later. What I was told.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother. Later.
Later. All right. I can confirm that he was talking to, I can't give the name, but I can definitely 110% confirm that there was an NXT, a current pushed NXT personality in the Atlantic Pro Wrestling locker room this evening.
So Rumble, I watched pretty much every show this week.
Yep.
And I think every week that I watch it, and not even necessarily the people that they're bringing in, I am becoming more of an AEW fan.
Yep.
The quality of the wrestling, it's more for the wrestling fan, I think, AEW.
Yep.
Although, if you wanted to find, WWE's more simple storylines that the younger crowd can follow.
Yep.
But if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to gravitate towards this AEW product.
I like it because the matches that they put on, listen, man, the matches they put on, you don't want them to end.
Well, the only match that I didn't really want, that there was two of them. It was the 2.0 guys at the tag team at the end.
Yeah,
they didn't really do too well.
Okay, I didn't. Since I started this new job, I'm lucky to make it 3/4 of the way through a 2-hour show lately.
And the girls, the big black girl and the other girl. Did you see that match?
Yes.
Yeah.
Their girls aren't too sharp, but I mean, their main girl, Britt Baker's a good worker. Thunder Rosa.
I'd like to see a cross match with Britt Baker and Bianca Belair. That'd be awesome.
That would. Hey, you'd never know. Down the road, with the way wrestling is right now, it seems like Vince is just going to let people go to make them stars elsewhere, and then quite possibly look to take them back in.
How much of NXT did you see?
I watched all of NXT. I had to.
The most entertaining thing of the whole week was the wedding.
Oh my God, that wedding was the best wrestling wedding of all.
That's what I thought. It beat the Edge Lita wedding. It beat the Billy Gunn, the Billy Gunn wedding. It beat them all. It was awesome.
Yep, when Eric Bischoff peels off the thing and Rosie and the other dude beat everybody down.
Oh, that was the best wrestling wedding I've ever seen. It was on
without a doubt
Tuesday night when he said "I do."
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Entertaining. Like I said, the one and only thing that I just didn't get was these new guys that I'd never seen, and they came on and dominated. And
the young kid in the 4-way at the end, I don't think he should have been there.
No. Nope. And I don't think Rick Steiner's son deserves to. I think that's horrible that they're not letting him go under the Steiner name.
Yeah, me as well. I guess it was a last-minute thing that they changed it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I read. It was a last-minute thing that they changed it. He was all ready to go as Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner. And they changed it at the last minute. Stupid. They all know who his father is. They basically mentioned it without mentioning it. And he's a dog-faced gremlin. And then they mentioned how he has a storied wrestling history. And
if they didn't want to somehow relate him to his Steiner, they wouldn't have put him in the tights he was in.
I knew right away that who it was. He's
Yeah.
only been wrestling for not even a year.
Yeah. Is he a product of the Performance Center?
No, he's a product of Rick Steiner.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I mean. Like, but he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
wrestle the Indies.
He worked the Indies for about 6 months.
Oh, right on.
Yep.
And my other big thing of the week, his pop on AEW this week was just as loud as a CM Punk debut pop was MGF's heat in his interview.
Oh, without a doubt.
This guy's heat gets bigger and bigger each week every time he comes out and cuts a promo, and his promos are gold.
I've been telling you people this, that he is the best pure heel in listen, I'm going to cut a lot of heat for this. When Mike King sees this, he's going to think I'm a clown, but I don't care. He is the best pure heel since Roddy Piper.
And he even said he grew up watching Roddy Piper, and that's the person he wanted to be.
The best promo around.
And he's only 24 years old.
Yep, and he's going to get better. He is going to get better.
So, yeah, I watched AEW and I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. And I'm looking forward to. I like the heat that Omega and Bryan Danielson had.
Yep.
That was great. No, it was a great weekend of wrestling. Big E going over for the title Monday night.
Actually,
I thought
Monday night was not a bad show.
I thought it was a great week of wrestling. Tommaso Ciampa, like Tommaso started to grow on me when he was with Toothless Timmy, and they're doing their tag, and the promos he was cutting, like Tommaso Ciampa, I think cuts one of the better promos in professional wrestling.
Yes,
and I'm glad he's got Goldie back now. Like, it was a great week for pro wrestling.
I'm just hoping that Goldie doesn't leave too soon and go to the hands of Rick Steiner Jr. there.
That'd be too soon. He's got to earn his seat. He's got to earn it.
I just got this weird feeling that with all this stuff that, was talked, that no matter what, people want to say, even if Mike King's inside intuitions are true, they can't tell him everything. At this time, I'd like to bring in Mr. Vincent Capelli.
What's up, boys?
What's going on, bro?
Now, Rumble, if we have a heel in the group, which is Mike King,
yep,
Mr. Capelli is the babyface manager of the group.
Right now, he is. He's more like Paul Heyman.
It's more like Paul Heyman. It's both ways. Yep. I'm the tweener.
So I will say this. If you end up watching the first, say, 10 minutes with Mike on, I got a picture of the person that he is saying told him this NXT insight. I can't let the name be known, but he's a New England indie worker who is a current star on NXT TV. I saw the picture of him and Mike backstage, and Mike's big thing that he said that with everybody thinking that Vince and Kevin Dunn are running NXT, it is false, that they are overseeing it. The true person running NXT and the one and only true person right now is HBK Shawn Michaels.
So catch me up on the conversation here, because I heard we're talking about the royalty himself, Mr. King.
Yeah, he showed me the picture before he would tell me the story, so that it would validify his source, and it's a credible source. And that's like I said, the source is not allowed to be told who it is. Obviously, the source doesn't want to let it known, because he's not allowed to be right now backstage at this, so to speak, wrestling show tonight. but he's an NXT personality. Mike sent me a picture of him and him talking, and I would definitely, it definitely holds some merit.
Well, I mean, I can send you a picture of me and Ric Flair talking from 1997 if you'd like.
But it's nothing big. All it is Mike basically saying
he's a current NXT superstar from New England.
Yep.
Kind of limits the friggin' field of who he may be talking about.
He is a breakout superstar, and that's the way I'll keep it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like his other source of information, and I will say the name, as I was told, is a current Ring of Honor superstar who has wrestled numerous times up here in New England. Won't say any names, but let's just say he commands a presence when he's in the ring.
Yeah,
but again, I was told that that's his source of information.
Yeah, but the WWE, they're hard on that. Like if you don't listen to them, they'll slap you on the wrist. And if you don't listen to them more than once, they'll slap you more on the wrist.
I could kind of see that this one person says that Sean's in charge, but then again, why would that one person give that type of information if he could get in trouble for it?
Exactly. Let me tell you, I've always said this, especially in this business. We all know it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There are too many people reporting that it's Vince and Kevin Dunn. That Vince was going to be at the very first show of NXT and then was going to reel it back a little bit, but he's overseeing NXT. Let me tell you, my opinion, there is no doubt in my mind, Vince is overseeing NXT because Vince, he made, I believe the comments that were made. The land, it's, he wants different talent. He doesn't want people in their 30s. He doesn't want midgets. He wants guys that look like wrestlers that can get called up to the roster. Sorry, that's Vince's style. Too many people said it. Numerous people heard it. Listen, at the end of the day, we wouldn't be hearing about all of this stuff on all the dirt sheets, Dave Meltzer, and all these other people reporting shit. Do you really think if that was the case, Adam Cole had it made there? Of course he left. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just Vince. I don't care what Mike says. Shawn Michaels, yes, he is running the back. That doesn't mean he's running the show. There's a difference. You know that, Jay. Yeah. Kelly, you know that. There's a difference from running the back and running the show.
I think they got
running the show.
Yeah, I think they got to sit down and at a table at both ends, look at each other and say, "Here's what we got to do. Here's what we don't got to do," and they got to come to some sort of compromise to make sure everybody's run smoothly. And if Vince doesn't like something, it's WWE is his. He'll put the kibosh to it. But if there's
we're talking about a guy who has notoriously and in recent months has ripped up his script for Monday Night Raw, the biggest wrestling show on the planet. Hours before the show, up to I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, he didn't have a script in hand by 7. The script wasn't done at 7 p.m. Show goes live at 8. This is a guy who continually does that. So listen, Vince is the type of guy that when push comes to shove, the only couple people that have his ear, Kevin Dunn, because Kevin Dunn's a ball sucker, and he'll do whatever Vince wants, and Vince loves him because he's Vince's guy. And you got Big Johnny Ace and Pritchard.
What was your overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week?
Sucked. I'm sorry. It being him. I mean, it was in Boston. Don't get me wrong. Knowing that Big E was coming out, everybody knew it was so predictable. Bobby Lashley was, the way it all went down, especially in the ring. Oh, we're gonna have Randy Orton wrestle tonight. Okay, you already knew exactly what was gonna happen. Bobby Lashley was going to beat Orton. Big E's comes out. 1, 2, 3. End of the night. That's it. Nothing. Overall, there's nothing to Raw anymore. There is nothing to WWE television much anymore other than a few angles on SmackDown. You know what the WWE needs to do is they need to take a superstar, somebody who they know that you wouldn't see it coming out of the clear blue. They need the pipe bomb. I'm going to steal from NXT. They need the pipe bomb 2.0. Vince, if he wants to generate talent, if he wants to generate buzz, and he wants to generate something for his business, if I was writing, I'd be backstage and I'd say, Vince, let's find us a superstar who, let's break the fourth and fifth wall. Let's do it. Let's go out there, throw a gimmick out there. The way I would do it, to be honest with you, is do it where the person refuses to sell the match. It doesn't take the pin. It does a pin. And everyone is like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to take the pin. And have him grab the mic, start all that, and say, I'm done with these stupid fucking storylines. Call Vince. Everyone knows that Vince, people aren't happy. So make it look real. Make it as real as possible. Have it so that only 3 or 4 people know actually what is going on. Have him call out and say, just call WWE garbage. Call for what it is. Call Vince for what he is. Vince is a big boy. He wants to sell. He wants to generate business. Because other than that, Raw is going to continue to falter like it faltered this Monday. It did not live up to the hype. And that is why AEW for 2 weeks in a row has beaten Raw. The 18 to 49 gimmick demographic. AEW for 2 weeks in a row has beaten Raw. Raw had some opportunities. I'm sorry, there's just nothing there.
And how are they gonna really beat with matches the 6-man tag they're having Monday night? They got to go up and up and up from there. It's going to be kind of hard.
I discussed that earlier, and I'm gonna level this out. I believe you got the younger fans, and I put it the 5 to 18-year-old demographic that haven't seen New Day together in a year and haven't seen Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw for 18 months. And I believe you'll have people that think that match is a good match and a point reason to watch Monday Night Raw. But when you put a match like Kenny Omega up against Bryan Danielson, you're getting a demographic that is totally going to outdraw that 6-man match. Yes.
And here's the thing. Sorry, go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, and with Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, you still have a couple people, and what I'm hearing, Bray Wyatt's going to sign in September. You still have people like Adam Cole, the Young Bucks. You have other guys on that AEW roster that can still do a little bit more.
AEW, they're already. So I don't know if you heard, the Young Bucks have trademarked or went to trademark the Super Click, because that's what they used to be called when Adam Cole. They were the Super Click. They've already trademarked that. They're bringing all of that back. They're gonna feed off of the stuff that have built them to get them to where they were 4 years ago. So you're gonna have the Super Click. Like, they even joked about it. Like, when Adam Cole, if people watch, they have that thing called Beat Elite, the show, the All Elite show that they've been doing for years. And it was funny because I watched it, and Adam Cole's like, wait a minute, so we're not the Bullet Club anymore? What do we call ourselves now? It was funny. It was priceless. And it continues story, but you're right. You're not going to compete when you're putting the guy, who are the guys, the friggin', when I'm seeing a tag team that's,
FTR.
Not FTR, from the WWE, the two guys that, we got
2.0.
We got the smoke. We got the smoke guys?
Oh, Street Profits.
Street Profits. So when I see the Street Profits versus, the Usos for the umpteenth fucking time, okay, with no story to it, it's like, all right, but I get a watered down version of what that match really could be. Then I turn on AEW television, and let's say I get FTR versus something else, and I get a 20-minute tag match with all these with great storytelling and great philosophy and tag and all this stuff, and then the big hoopah, and it's like, you know what? I'm me as a big critic of AEW the last year. I'm starting to say to myself, they're starting to get their shit together. The product, and the demographic is for the WWE. At the still, the people that kids are one thing, but the people that buy the merchandise, that buy the programming, that buy everything, they're 18 to 49. Those are the fathers. Those are the parents. And I'm going to go to myself like, people forget. I understand that in All Elite, it's a different type of, it's the business is more wrestling oriented. WWE, I've always said, is more entertainment oriented. But people forget, it does say World Wrestling Entertainment. And the problem is yes, we're getting wrestling and entertainment, but Vince, I think we all can realize that Vince is going to start losing here if he doesn't change things up.
Yeah, I said this before. I said you need people writing that know wrestling, and I think that's WWE's problem. Because in AEW, you have the wrestlers writing the wrestling.
That's right.
You have the wrestlers coming up with the matches and stuff like that, and mostly the wrestlers that are in the wrestling matches are coming up with their own stuff.
I agree 100%. That's part of the problem. Vince has Hollywood and television writers writing Hollywood and television story. What they don't have is realism, and that's why I say we need Pipe Bomb 2.0. If Vince really wants to pull some of us, those other fans, the people that are kind of the hardcore fans, back in.
Capelli, you know who could have done that, and they just lost him? Adam Cole could have done that.
Adam Cole, he could have, but I love him. But to me, I look at it and
Rumble's ready to say that.
I'm ready. I know the guy I'd do it with.
Who?
I would do it with Cesaro.
Cesaro doesn't have the same charisma on a mic. The person, honestly, that I would have done it with, but they won't do it now because it would bring him back. And he's probably the one person that could make it believable.
Dean Ambrose.
No, WWE. Thinking WWE.
Seth Rollins?
I would just said that.
Here's why. Because Seth, you could have built it up where, Seth's, do your thing with Seth, and then finally it's like, he comes out and he grabs a mic and he's like, I'm going to be honest here. This is shit. We're doing shit, and this is shit. And break the wall. To break it down and call, you call Vince and say, Vince, you're an idiot. You've let guys like Daniel Bryan, blah, blah, blah. And then have him do the gimmick where he's sitting there and he begs, Vince, please, I'm on television telling you your company sucks. Fire me so in 90 days I can go be all elite. Break the fourth and fifth walls.
Yeah.
It would generate such buzz, and then you build the storyline with that. But it wouldn't work with Seth because everyone knows Seth is a company guy.
Yeah.
He cut an amazing promo Friday night in his silver suit jacket. But he's come a long way. I remember him cutting a promo with Jim Cornette in Ring of Honor when he was in Ring of Honor, and it was poop. So from him coming from Ring of Honor, learning in the Performance Center, to the promo he cut on Friday night, it's been way better. Like his promos have come along way better.
I agree. The person who this gimmick would work perfectly with would be Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens would stay, because people know behind the scenes that he's not happy, or
you can tell he's not happy. In the ring, you can tell he's not happy.
He's not happy. And you have to bring real life to the story. It would work perfectly with Kevin Owens, but everybody knows a couple months, Kevin Owens going bye-bye, and he's going to be on AEW television.
Yep.
And Bray Wyatt, I'm sick and tired of listening to the king of misinformation say, I don't know, it could be a big work. It's not a work. Bray Wyatt is done with the WWE.
He will be at the September 30th
show, because that's Brody Lee's birthday.
Exactly.
And it's his hometown.
He can be in front. He can be in the front row with the ticket purchase.
I said that last week. He could be in front row. They can pan right by him and stop, and they go,
Now,
that's
it's
who I think it is.
It's also, but what?
They can take the camera legally, take the camera and pan by and go, is that who I think it is? That's like me going like this and, oh my God. Look, is that Jay? No, that can't be who it is. He's sitting front row and Jay, it's you. And you flash 2 tickets, and you're like, and you just go like one of these, and then the camera goes off. The place would go nuts.
I heard, though, that the 90-day no compete, he can give back a certain percentage of his contract, and he can null and void the last 30 days of the 90-day no compete.
He could, but what's the point? Take the check, do that, because the day he would show up would be the Rampage 2 nights before
Halloween.
That's a better night, because if he comes out in the friggin' gimmick and here comes the Dark Order, it just goes more involved with Halloween. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I agree.
If I was writing, that's what I would be doing. I'd be like, no, let's keep it there. It makes more sense. And you build up. Oh, the new leader of the Dark Order on Rampage this Friday night. And then people will be like, oh, wait, we all know who it's going to be.
Did you see any of the rumors that are true that Strowman signed with Impact?
No, I haven't seen anything on it.
No,
I know it's been talked about, but I haven't seen anything on it.
I just heard it was rumors too.
My son usually he showed me this thing on a YouTube guy that he watches, and the guy is usually like, he's spot on. He's an English dude, and this guy said that it's 99% set in stone that Strowman.
Is it? Can I ask? Is it Wrestle Talk?
It
Wrestle
could
Talk
be.
News? Because those are the guys that I'm friendly with, that I shoot the shit with.
They're like English dudes from England.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard it, but
he showed me a thing this morning. He goes, "Daddy, Braun Strowman's going to Impact," and the guy goes, "It's a 99% truth here that Braun Strowman is signed with Impact Wrestling and could be on the pay-per-view this evening."
Tonight? Is it tonight?
Yep. I tried watching Impact, and their studio production is the absolute drizzling dog poops. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
So speaking about Impact, should we get to this Ric Flair Tommy Dreamer thing?
Let's just get to hold on. Pros and cons of NXT 2.0. Capelli, what did you think of the brand new NXT 2.0?
The color looks like I took fucking 15 acid pills and puked all over the place. I think the production of the color was dumb.
You know why they brought the color in? Do you know why, right?
No,
to show loyal and unity to all of the genders. It's a gender flag, basically. So from what is being stated, Vince McMahon is going to, I guess that you're going to start seeing openly, you're going to see some different gimmicks, like a guy being more openly gay workers and quite possibly a transgender workers of the WWE.
Is what it is.
I'm just saying that is supposedly what the colors stand for. Is for that movement.
Where'd you hear that from?
It was just like one of them written things on wrestling. Yeah. That's all.
I don't know, because when I look at those colors, they really don't symbolize much of anything. It honestly, it looks more like I'm doing a show in Miami. Like those are the colors. When I see those colors, I think Miami, I think beach, I think something like that. I don't see something that's gender related. Like if it was gender related, there would be gender symbols. What I see is like a fucking palm tree.
I was told it's the colors. That's what it's representing. I
don't know. Maybe.
What I read, it was the colors was towards the general neutralization of the product.
They don't need colors to be gender neutral. They just put the workers out there, and if they're If they're gay and they're openly gay, then so be it. If they're bisexual, they're bisexual. If they're a transgender and they can work, put them out there. Who cares?
Yep.
You know, I wasn't overly impressed with the production. I liked the old production of the black in the background with the. It just felt like more of like an underground studio. Like this is underground wrestling. This feels like more.
Sometimes I think the less kind of maybe the little bit of less production you have, the more the focus is on the entertainer.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
To me,
I like the bright look. The only thing that I'm being honest, I did not like. I hated the that there was no barricades. That there was basically a glass walls, which means to me that they're going to frown upon activity outside the ring quite possibly. Because if one of those guys was to smash into those panels, that's just not. That just won't be good.
I see what I see with all that is I don't know. I don't like it either. You're invited to have fan interaction at Raw and SmackDown, but now you're not invited to have fan interaction at NXT. Why? That's where you're supposed to be. Technically, that's where the fans are supposed to be closer to the, to the wrestlers because they're the underground guys. They're the up and comers, and it's more about like the show, with those guys and the wrestling.
I love how the seats were lined up. I like all that. I felt the lighting's a little too bright.
Yeah, but I'm not crazy about the colors.
I like the entranceway. It's a small version of the Raw and SmackDown version. Yeah, I enjoyed everything but a couple little stupid things. Like I just didn't like how it had guardrails. No, like it didn't have good barricades. It just had that like bulletproof glass that was knee height, which I'd hate to see one guy forget and then one person smash into that. God forbid the insurance that would happen that glass went somewhere in a person's eye or.
Hey, speaking of Braun Strowman, did you happen to see the new image of Braun Strowman? Shaved his beard?
No.
Shaved his beard.
Wow.
He's jacked out of his mind. I mean, dude is gassed right now.
He's going to be married to Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I just think it's funny that he's lost mobility in his leg. Vince waves him, and he's going to go work for another promotion when he all along said he would never go anywhere else.
So I'm just happen to be looking it up. The Bleacher Report is also saying that he's in talks with to sign the company, and that was on the 12th. So there's smoke, there's fire. I wouldn't be shocked if he shows up. But it's Braun Strowman. It ain't the same thing as Hulk Hogan showing up on WCW television.
No.
Like I said, I keep going back to because where I was such a critic of AEW, I'm the first person to admit I am reminiscent, and I brought this up the other day. AEW is WCW when WCW went from NWA to WCW, and they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go sign some talent, and we're gonna go to war."
All right.
And I'm telling you, if Shad Khan really wants to step up his game, I wouldn't be shocked if he steps it up and competes. I mean, Dynamite right now is beating Raw. Okay. It's a better product.
So, what if I was to say that AEW actually reminds me of the 2000 version of the World Wrestling Entertainment, where they went out and they signed all of the new top up-and-coming fucking rising stars in professional wrestling to put the nail in the coffin and become a lone entity of professional wrestling. I only say that because I forget what I was watching today. And they make mention to when the WCW buyout happens and Vince McMahon just basically took the whole wrestling world by storm because he basically signed it was Dark Side of the Ring. And I'm looking at I kind of think I'm gonna say that it's more now pointing to me like they're making their own Attitude Era.
Well, they are. Why wouldn't they? Look at what MJF.
That's
look what
why
MJF is igniting that. He is there doing it behind with some of the talent, but communication wise, promo wise, MJF is starting that, and they are. TNT allows it.
They remind me of WWE in 2000. Screw WCW. Look at the way they're just taking over right now with the ratings, and they don't even have to be on the same night.
No, what's a bigger station down in the States, TNT or TBS?
Both the same.
Both.
There is no.
They're owned by the same entity.
They're owned by Turner. One was created so he could put more content because he had too much content.
Because I heard Dynamite's gonna be moving from TNT to TBS.
Was the original station. Yes, TNT is what he bought, is the one he added.
Now, from what I've heard, that quite possibly when they make the product move to TBS, that quite possibly Saturday night or Sunday night, AEW Dark could be featured at a 6:05 or a 7:05 old school slot on TBS either Saturday or Sunday nights.
Sounds like Ted Turner 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Shad Khan isn't Ted Turner. Ted Turner owns the network, but Shad Khan, in my opinion, he doesn't own the network. He doesn't have to worry about answering to, other people on his board. He goes, this is my product. If you're buying it, this is the product you're buying. This is the product I'm going to give you. Whereas Ted Turner had to answer to about AOL and all the time, or the people they were in Time Warner, and ultimately was easily led by news executives. I said it I said it on the Gorilla post. I posted it, and I'll say it again. The downfall of the WCW wasn't so much the Monday Night Wars. That war was lost the day they changed their programming. They were going to lose back and forth eventually. There was no doubt. Stone Cold was too hot. The Rock was coming on. Kurt Angle was coming on. Triple H was hot. They were writing edgy. Everything was edgy. People loved it.
And sorry to interrupt you for a second, Pelly, but do you feel the same way with AEW now that it's getting more edgy? You got Daniel Bryan coming on.
Absolutely.
CM Punk. You got.
That's why I like it.
That's why I'm not comparing it to WCW no more. I'm comparing it to the WWE formula of 1999 to 2001. 99 being that's the year they drove the final nail into the coffin of WCW, and they started signing all the young stars and took wrestling over. I'm sorry, but that is what AEW is doing now. There's no Hall and Nash in that thing. There's no two semi-old guys going over. You got
no, there's one, but he's a smart guy, Chris Jericho.
Yep. Chris Jericho.
And Sting. Jericho and Sting. But if you notice, they're not on the main, they're not out in the front saying, we're the stars. They're there.
Nope. They know how to get the younger guys over, and that's their job.
They understand they understand the business, though. Credit to Sting, 62 years old. He's like, yeah, I just want to come in. I'll help. He didn't come in saying, make me a star. He came in and said, I want to help get this product back. For a guy like Sting, who took a lot of pride in WCW and in TNA, he sees something here. He sees what, to me, Rumble, and I'll say this much, AEW doesn't remind me of WCW as far as a company standpoint when they said, let's go to war, let's step up our game. The
Yep.
company is reminiscent to me, wrestling-wise, of the heydays and the glory days of ECW.
Yes. Okay.
I think it really is because it's wrestling. It's kind of like that somewhat realistic storylines. There's the guy like MJF, just like you had Brian Pillman dropping these ridiculous fucking promos. But it's on a grander scale. To me, that's more of what this is ECW 2.0. This is what ECW could have been.
Okay.
Had Paul Heyman been a better businessman.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, we all know the elephant in the room that Monday Night Raw has lost to AEW Dynamite, and for the past 2 weeks, and from what I'm being told that Rampage outdrew Monday Night Raw, and Rampage is a tape product with 3 matches that I honestly believe the past couple of weeks that program ended last week with the wrong match. That Pillman with that match was the absolute drizzling dog poopies. While the first match they had on last week was Andrade and Pac, and that match stole the absolute show.
Well, last night was a different story, though.
Yeah.
Last night, no, sorry, it's next week, right? Omega and Daniel Bryan are next week.
Yes, that will be Wednesday evening. That will kill it. I believe I really don't remember much from Rampage. I remember that Miro kicked the crap out of that El Dragano kid.
Yeah, El Fuego or whatever. Yeah,
he didn't even take the keys to the car. He stuffed him down the kid's throat and gave him the super duper camel clutch thing there. Britt Baker.
I love Miro's gimmick right now. By the way,
I love Miro right now.
I love it how he's like almost. He's a borderline like want to be a holy warrior or something. The whole the evolving of his character is really good. I love it.
I am spiritually always on top, while my wife does not mind being on the bottom.
Yeah, I love it.
He just says stuff like that. It's like, holy crap.
But that's what you used to get at W. That's what we used to get in ECW. Shit like that.
I thought the program was decent. Rampage was decent. I'm once again, if they end up killing Dr. Britt Baker's gimmick, I will be ultimately upset. I think right now they should not. I don't like these short title runs. I think she's hot with the crowd right now. She can act like a heel and still get babyface type reaction. You do not like. I would not put Ruby Soho over. I don't think that. I just honestly don't see. No. I mean, maybe she ain't right. I just don't think she should be on top.
She won't. I don't think you'll see Ruby Soho go over. What I think, it's just an opinion. I still think you're going to see Sasha Banks in the next 4 to 6 months. Released from her contract, show up on television, and that's where it goes.
Why will she be released from her contract?
Because she's going to ask for it.
Really?
I think so.
Why do you think Sasha Banks is disappointed? Or why do you think she is not? Why is she down on the WWE when the WWE
She's been down on the WWE? She's been down on it for a while.
Really?
I mean, it's documented ever since she did that. Ever since she left after that WrestleMania, and
that's 3 years ago.
Doesn't matter. Things don't change, man. Like it's been the same shit. Then look what happened to her best friend. You're required to go to the fucking performance center, and you have to work out. And then her best friend blows out her knee doing, mind you, she's probably one of the best female workers in Bayley, and she had to go down there and work out and prove herself to Vince. I mean, come on.
I never knew that. What now?
Oh, you didn't know that? That's how Bayley blew out her knee.
Oh.
Bayley blew out her knee at the performance center when Vince said, I want all my work. Everyone has to show at the performance center. I want to see you guys all, and pretty much gave the whole, you need to step it up routine. And then she blew out her knee at the performance center.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Now, is it because he felt that they weren't on the road as much that he didn't feel the workers were as crisp, or was Vince just trying to be a dick?
That's what it was hidden behind. I think if it was just Vince being Vince, Vince put everyone on notice. I mean, everyone says it, right? I read the article. And it says a lot of wrestlers are stating that they feel like they're walking on eggshells in the back, and a lot of wrestlers aren't happy with it. And Sasha hasn't been happy ever since that WrestleMania gimmick thing. She had a nice title run, but she wasn't happy with it. Why didn't she? They did the whole thing with her and fucking Bianca, and then Vince up and changes it for Becky.
Yeah.
And now you don't see Sasha, and she wasn't cleared to wrestle. What do you mean she wasn't cleared? There was no report of any injury. Nothing. Zero. No report of COVID. No report of an injury. Nothing. So why isn't she on television? Okay, that's fine. Move it to Raw. Have her go and feud with Charlotte. Would have been perfect. She should have showed up. She could have showed up in Boston, her hometown. Fans would have popped like fucking crazy. Nothing. No. Nope.
What's the latest on? Have we heard any news or rumblings on Keith Lee lately?
No, there's a lot of shit that was going around the internet, and I don't know if Adam Cole's playing coy. I know that they were saying, "Oh, we heard," people were saying that Adam Cole was supposed to be a manager. He was going to manage Keith Lee as a heel. Cole said he didn't hear that, but you know what? Who knows? I mean, somebody said it somewhere, and it got back to a bunch of people. So maybe there was talk of that. I mean, that does sound like something stupid that Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon would do. But I haven't had nothing with Keith Lee. I would imagine he'll show. I mean, here's a perfect example. Before Big E loses the title to Roman Reigns, you could have Keith Lee come out and feud with him. But eventually, I think they're teasing it right now. Keith Lee, they're gonna unify the title, I think.
And it's gonna go back to no brand split.
It'll still be a brand split, but it'll be one world champion.
So then
it'll be a unified champion for both shows. There'll still be a brand split.
He'll have to fight on both brands then.
Yeah. That's why I think you're starting to see the tease now. But I'm telling you right now, mark my words, Big E, technically a SmackDown superstar, will stay on SmackDown, the number one pick for Raw in the draft in October, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I believe that.
I see it coming. Although I know the fucking, the Burger King himself thinks that, we're all full of shit. I'm telling you. I'm sorry. I meant the Bully King. I mean, Mr. King.
Yeah. The leader of the clown posse, I'd call him.
Yeah. ICP. Yeah, there you go. I'm a clown posse.
So did you get to see the dark side of the ring yet?
No, I know it was about the plane ride from hell. I know Tommy Dreamer came out and he's been suspended indefinitely for his remarks. I know now that people are calling for Ric Flair to kind of, I don't know, be held accountable. I know they talked about Ric Flair being naked, swinging around his wang and supposedly trying to get a flight attendant to touch it and all this other stuff.
You got to watch it, bro. She talks about her being in the galley kitchen, and he basically walks in there and keeps her hostage in there while it's just hanging and swinging. She's on there. She is on there. Like, listen, I'm not going to say it, but like, I think I've been part of them kind of things before, but it's been with all the boys.
Stephenville, Newfoundland. Remember Stephenville, Newfoundland?
Yep.
Look, I'm going to put it this way. Why wait 21 years to say something, especially when the Me Too movement has been blown wide open? Don't get me wrong. No doubt in my mind, I think something happened on the plane.
Yeah.
And I know that Scott Hall said, listen, it was a lot of drugs and alcohol, but why wait until now to speak up and say something, and now have all the social media warriors call for for the injustice? Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting anything or trying to say that the woman wasn't wrong or what happened to her wasn't wrong, but I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And listen, I've been in a predicament too where, you do something at the time and the person's like, yeah, let's party, let's do this, let's do that. And then guilt kicks in, and then 20 years or 10 years later, that person might be saying, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't do that. I don't know, man.
I know all about it too much. I've been there, done that. I think we've probably all partied together, and there's been those circumstances where things have happened, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't care. And listen, when we first broke in, rock star life was accepted in this community.
It was accepted in our business. There is no doubt. Yeah. Dude, I mean, let's be honest. I hate to bring it up, but I'm going to break kayfabe here. Well, you know the word I'm about to use. How many, for years, for the 70s and 80s and 90s, ring rats? It was ring rats. Everyone who the people doesn't know if people don't know what a ring rat is, oh, well, guess what? It's the girl that shows up to the show that wants to fuck all the wrestlers. And it happens. I love this shirt, by the way. But it happened. It was an acceptable.
Big J, what's up?
What's going on, buddy?
Let me get settled here.
But as I was saying, Rumble, it was part of it's been part of that business, of our business for years. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but, how many ring rats today, 10, 15 years ago, were out fucking every wrestler, and now they're saying, now they regret it because now they're older and they feel like a whore.
Yeah.
Or they look back and they say, I can't believe I lived like that. I regret everything I did. Don't regret sucks, and don't get me wrong, but it wasn't we lived like rock stars. Even at an indie level, you felt like a rock star. You went out, you felt like a rock star.
Yeah, guys, in both of our industries, wrestling and
music.
Rock music.
Yeah.
Okay, we're lucky that we're not famous right now, all of us.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to tell you. You got your own stories. I got mine. But like, if I was a household name or anything like that, something would come up.
Yeah.
You gotta think about this, guys. Right? I'm gonna name. Think of Motley Crue and Motley Crue and all the women that they did things with over the years. Right?
Yeah.
You look now. Take Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and all the big guys from them. They got women threw themselves at them. Themselves at them. It's not that it's acceptable. Sure, let me say that. Back then, it was acceptable, and back then it was. My thing is if she didn't like it then, she just should have spoke up then and said, "Hey, fucking Ric Flair tried to cornered me and was doing this in front of me. He should have did it then."
She tried to say that the airlines made her keep that between her, and that was it. That she should bury it and forget it.
It's possible that did happen. Don't get me wrong, because Vince.
If we had a hotel party back in the day with all the boys, and one of the boys was like a Ric Flair, you don't think the handful of the boys would have said, "Yeah, once he's drunk, he puts his robe on and he does the Whirlybird girls," and you know what I mean? Like listen, I'm sorry, you're already stepping into a world you shouldn't step into. A number one, that's point blank. Although it being you're a flight attendant, you shouldn't have to deal with that. You shouldn't have to deal with that. That's where I
agree.
That's where I feel bad for the woman, because she's not like a ring rat, or she's not like like just say she was at the VIP party and has that just likes wrestling or whatnot, she would have the opportunity to leave. But her being a flight attendant locked on that flight, man, and then to have Scott Hall lick her like a postage stamp.
Not to mention they were kept on the phone for 7 hours and 3 liquor cabinets. You know what I mean? It's just like I believe every word she said.
Oh, I don't discredit anything she says. I believe it. But why wait this long to say something? Why?
Oh, I hear you. But see, this is what probably makes one like in those situations afraid to step forward because of how much ridicule they'll get.
Exactly.
She could have stepped forward 5 years ago, 8 years ago. You know, especially
I
the
agree,
Me
man.
Too movement shit.
I agree, but this was a perfect platform to do it because they were covering it, and you know, I'll give Mike credit on some of the exchanges we had about this. Is Vince knew this was being released. Could have been a factor in Vince letting them go.
I don't know. Everyone says that he asked for his release. He asked for his release. I mean, that says Vince. He went to Vince, said, "I want to be released." He didn't get fired. He got released because he asked for it.
No, but maybe. I mean, this thing was in the bank for probably 6 months to show.
Do you really think Vince would have let that out?
No, but if it was still the WWE and this came out, he would probably be fired or let go.
Because here's the thing. I don't know how much Vince. For me personally, I don't feel Vince knew everything on this because if Vince knew this was
on the flight,
he was on the flight. He know about it. They're going to be coming after Vince just as much as they're coming after Rick, because just because it wasn't Vince, it doesn't make him innocent because he knew about it but did nothing. It wasn't me. Well, you're not innocent either.
Jim Ross was the guy in charge the next day with all the firings and all the letting goes.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, Vince didn't know about this thing, I don't think being aired, because they're going to come after him.
Why is Tommy Dreamer taking heat?
Because of what he said on the show, I guess.
Did you not watch the show and see how he basically, in ways, shapes, and forms, he could have agreed to a certain extent, but he basically, with words on what he said, condoned it. He basically said,
I heard him say that.
This is Ric Flair we're talking about. Everybody knows Rick puts a robe on, and when he gets drunk, it's like it's a tradition for him to go around and watch him spin around. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, he basically condoned it, and then the only thing he said was, "Well, you know, I understand it's just nowadays it's not accepted." He should have not have said anything. He should have said, "We all know Ric Flair liked to entertain, but you know this flight attendant, she's a flight attendant. She shouldn't have had to put up with this."
Well, there was, you know, further on this subject, you know, because I have been watching all the Tony Atlas interviews with Marathi for years because that drew me to the.
What is wrong with what you're speaking into? Because it's killing my Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, your sound comes from terrible fingers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to change to a different format. I got something to add, though. Okay, just bear with me.
Go ahead. So I don't know, Jay. You know, again, Pelly, same thing. I don't know. I don't discredit a word because listen, you, me, all three of us, we've all been around it. We've all been a part of it. Either we were involved, or we were with people who were involved, or we witnessed it. We've all seen it. We all know what it was like. We've all been to those parties. We've all know what it's like to be around the bigger boys when you're with the big boys and they want to party, or when we're having our stuff. You know, shit happens. Let's be honest, shit happens. I know of a professional wrestler who myself and Jay know very well. back in the day, he was involved in a thing, and it was known that he was involved with an underage girl. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But I'm not saying any names, but he was involved with an underage girl. Everyone knew it. It was like, okay, shit happened. But back then I wouldn't say it was condoned. It was more of like, all right, well, hey, you do you.
How's that? Is that any better?
Much better.
Okay. Oh shit! I should change that. That's
No, leave it.
No, leave it. That's beautiful.
But just change it to say the Bully King.
guys.
Or the
What I
Burger
was saying,
King.
just to move on from the subject, like I was watching Tony Atlas videos through MWF for years. That's what drew me to Marati and the station. I wanted to hear stories from Tony. And Tony talked a lot about stories that were very similar. That was just basically like rape, like being witness to rape. And it was just like the Mickeys and everything like that. It doesn't make it right by any stretch. It's just.
I don't mean to laugh either, but like, listen, that's what drew me into wanting to be on the road.
Guys, you know what I mean? And this is where wrestling and the music business connect.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble. How many times would I say to you, road trip?
Yep.
Road trip?
Buddy, what did the downstairs of the WrestlePlex at Rhode Island look like at times?
And guys, do you remember the part where they got to Scott Hall? Do you think Scott Hall would remember that? There's things that I don't remember.
No.
Scott Hall ain't remembering that. And if he did, he would say I was probably so drugged out. I feel bad for the lady.
He said he thinks Hennig he put in put something in his drink, which is very possible.
Yep. They were talking about that last night. That little pill there. I believe it was RVD was talking about the pill that they put in the drinks.
That's crazy.
The best is when
here's the thing.
What's his name? Cut Doc Hendricks' ponytail. I love it.
There were women on the flight from hell, correct?
Yeah, Marlena.
Yeah, Marlena.
Terry Reynolds.
Yep.
I can't. She couldn't have been the only one for that time. 2002.
No.
Lita, Trish, maybe.
2000.
Yep.
You're talking Trish Stratus. You're talking Marlena.
Marlena.
Jackie. You're probably talking Tori Wilson, maybe.
The best thing to do is Google the card for the tour, and you'll find out every person that was on that show, and then the pay-per-view that night that they did.
Yeah, because that's right, because they were coming home from the pay-per-view. So,
yes.
I mean, the women knew what Rick. My thing is they all knew Rick did this too. You don't see. My thing is
there wasn't one WWE woman that is saying anything bad about this.
That's the thing. I'm wondering.
It is legitimately the one flight attendant. No other flight attendant took spots in this. Terry Reynolds, the only thing she was disgusted about is when Dustin at one point was so wasted and everybody fell asleep. And she heard this Italian song that Dustin used to sing to her. And they had to tell him to shut up.
No, Terry said that Brock exposed herself to him.
Yes.
Who?
Brock. Young Brock.
Oh, Brock. Oh.
But Brock liked the old ladies then. Look who he's married to. He's married to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sable would have been there in 2002. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder what Taker was doing. He was on the flight.
Probably
out
drunk.
of his mind, drunk and passed out by that time.
Yeah.
Is that the same flight that Angle and what's-his-face did the shoot fight?
Him and Vince?
No.
Or him and Angle?
No. So Taker choked out Angle.
Different one.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
Different flight. This is the one where Brock and Bradshaw almost go through the emergency door at 30,000 feet high.
Right.
I think it was Hennig, Jay.
No, I thought they said it was. Maybe it was Hennig, but I thought, oh no, because that's when somebody went up and headbutted JBL in the face because he had cut himself already.
Yeah.
And JBL was bull crap. But I'll put it to you this way: it's an episode.
Doesn't matter who it was. It's just like someone got power bombed and almost went through the fuselage.
But what they said is the lady said this. She goes, little do they know that up that high, the way it's pressurized, ain't nobody opening that door. But it's not the impossibility that two men to that size couldn't have put a hole in that plane.
Right.
Imagine that. You would have killed a whole generation. You would have killed an incredible amount of WWE. And she said you couldn't do an emergency landing. You're over the ocean.
No. I'll tell you, too, if you look at the time frame, guys, right? It wasn't too long after, a couple years after, man, that Attitude Era just started slipping away and things just were less rowdy, man. They cleaned it up.
Yep.
You know?
Well, they talk about that. JR talks about how it gets cleaned up. You get rid of Kurt Angle, or not Kurt Angle, Kurt Hennig. They fired Hennig right after that. They got rid of a lot of the practical jokers.
No, but
guys,
they stopped with like the heavy chair shots and shit.
Hey, Mike King just sent me a picture. He sent the selfie. Bully King.
I told him I was coming on tonight, and he was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'll be there. No Mike King."
He is backstage in Atlantic Pro Wrestling tonight with his biggest scoop.
Yeah, he's running the show.
He actually said this to you. There's his comment earlier about 20 minutes ago. He had inside news, and he wanted me to give validity to the story and the news source because of the picture that he had taken with the news source saying that.
Oh my God, I got to teach you English.
Taking it, don't matter. Anyways, he sent me so he could make sure that this story was valid, that Shawn Michaels is the guy who is running NXT with Kevin Dunn and Vince overseeing it.
The visual is just too much for me, guys. I can't I wasn't even paying attention to the in-ring product because the set was just so
right,
colorful. Yeah. So colorful.
Talk about taking the edge away.
So I said this earlier. Thing is, I had said that running the show and running the product are two different things. Shawn Michaels definitely can run, quote unquote, the show, but Vince runs the product. Vince got his hands in the product. That's my opinion. I don't see Shawn Michaels as the main guy running the show. I see him running the product. That's Kevin Dunn, and that's.
Here's a theory for
I think Shawn does run the show as far as, hey guys, these are the spots I'm looking for, like he has been.
Here's a theory, guys. Just kind of like how they buried Sting at WrestleMania as being the last holdup for WCW. The reason why Ciampa has probably been chosen to take that title right now, so that way they'll have Steiner's son or whoever take it off him, and that'll be the last heartbeat of Triple H's NXT by taking out Ciampa, who's among Adam Cole was one of the greatest NXT champions. They'll make sure that they just kill that last heartbeat in Ciampa.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. You still got Gargano too, but I hear what you're saying.
I love the wedding, guys.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
Pelly said me and Pelly both agree that when we were on here before everybody got on here, me and Pelly had said that was the best wedding in WWE history, or in all of wrestling history.
The best thing was when he showed the hatchet to everybody. Yes. If you looked around, that was awesome.
I was popping, laughing out loud just laughing out loud because, hey, Jay, and you know this, I've been touting the praises of Dexter.
You have loved Dexter Lumis since day one.
Yeah,
I love him. I love the gimmick.
It's the whole anonymous don't talk bit, and it goes back to the great Kabuki. Snook. I've been over it. That's why I love him. But forever now, or speaker, whoever hold your peace, and he showed the axe the first time. I howled. But I also howled at Dexter Gaylord Loomis. That was just funny to me.
The name Gaylord.
And when he spoke, I popped again.
I didn't want to hear it, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to hear it.
No, I liked it when he did the thumb up thing, right? And then he chokes the guy out. It's like, it was perfect. And then I thought I thought it was done perfect. It was the right amount of speaking. Right. I liked it when she said, "Yeah, he's a freak, but he's my freak." I loved it.
I love them both. I think that they're fantastic.
Can I ask a stupid question? Because I don't know this. They're not a couple outside, are they?
I have no idea.
Because they got into the kiss. I mean, that was pretty good kiss.
Maybe Mike King, if he's listening, Mike, can you ask your source who's part of NXT if Dexter and Indy are a real couple?
I mean, it's just a question because, they got phenomenal chemistry together. So I'm just wondering if they really are a couple.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys. I mean, where Vince is going with the character-heavy, type of production, what better character is Dexter Lumis? You know what I mean? I just hate to see him get, buried like most people do. But
I don't think he's getting buried.
I hope not.
Nope.
Here's a question. When Hunter is healthy again, what happens?
I don't know the extent of the cardiac event, Vin.
He had a genetic heart disease, and he had some event. To me, it sounds like maybe he had a
stent,
a heart palpitation, or the same. What Jay? What did Teddy Bruschi have? That
arrhythmia?
Huh?
Yes.
An arrhythmia problem?
Could have been because he needed the surgery. He didn't have a heart attack. They said it was genetic. It was a genetic heart disease. So, question is, they said he's gonna make a full recovery, but what happens when he comes back?
He's got to take it easy, probably, because I don't know the extent of the type of surgery he had. Like I said, obviously I'm speaking from experience. I had a quadruple bypass 2 years ago. That's different because my arteries were clogged. If he had a hole in his heart, I don't know what the surgery entails. Meaning the recovery time is different.
Right. It's more on a business side of thing. I talk more about not when he gets, but when he's backing up and running, what happens? How does he go back to NXT where everybody, and I mean everybody, they showed the number of people that reach out. Adam Cole, all these other people all said Triple H is has become quote unquote. They call him they call him dad. They call Stephanie him and mom and dad. There was somebody that said they're like mom and dad because he's so involved with these wrestlers and everybody. Aleister Black said it. It was Ciampa, Gargano, all these wrestlers, NXT's talent have all said. They talk about him like he's like their adopted father. How does he go back to NXT
after it's
not
been ripped
be put back in charge?
After they ripped it and stripped it down to what it is?
That's what I'm saying. How?
But it really hasn't been done yet. What if Ciampa really does keep the title? I know that all of a sudden Steiner's son ends the show and comes up and they go nose to nose. Let's just hope that Vince. Now, this is just the reason why I know this is because when I had my WWE tryout, Tommaso was backstage at that time. And Tommaso was early stage. He was signed to developmental the same time as Kofi Kingston. He never burnt his bridge, okay? And when I was there for my tryout, he wasn't there as a tryout person. He was helping in ring, even though he was an indie worker. So he's always been in good graces with the WWE offices, just like Ivar.
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Chaotic kids, these young chaotic wrestlers. Carson, Paul McCannon, who was on SmackDown at one time. They all had the tryout when I had it, and I seen how close that the chaotic kids were with Stephanie McMahon. She knew their last names. That's why I find it very, very, very hard to believe that regime will let Tommaso go anywhere. Same with Ivar. That's why I find it very hard to believe that they're gonna nix Tommaso out.
Well, why did they take the title off Samoa Joe? He's not hurt. Does he not fit the criteria that they're trying to?
No, wait. You're saying Joe is not hurt? This is just a work?
No, I think they wanted the title off him, and they just went with an injury. He's not hurt.
I don't think WWE would do that. I think they were looking forward to having Joe as the champion. Knowing that Daniel Bryan was about to become probably the champion of AEW.
You don't have Samoa Joe. You don't strip Samoa Joe just to give the title to Tommaso.
Mike King told me that.
Anyways, good business here would have been if you want the title on Tommaso, you start a feud with Tommaso and Joe. You're going to get great wrestling and great television out of that.
I think it's a shame that
I don't think
he was hurt. Then how can you rely on Joe if he's hurt all the time? He's always fucking hurt.
I know. Well, he's getting up there in age, brother.
I know, but like he's had a lot of his main roster stuff stopped because of his.
He's upper 40s, and he's always been an overweight wrestler that wrestles a hybrid style of performance.
It's a shame. I dig him, man. I was always a fan.
Joe should be smart and do what Matt Bloom, do what Matt did at the right time. Matt knew his days were numbered. He stepped back and he says, I'll take the job. He got the job at the Performance Center, and he's excelled.
And he's the head guy now, Matt Bloom.
He's the head guy. Joe should be backstage as an agent working with the talent.
He should.
So where did all these guys come from? I know Rex Steiner, but it's just like Rex Steiner's got a title. He's in the title picture without earning it. The other guy that was in the fatal 4-way for the title, I don't know.
I never seen him.
Yeah, like how do you get title?
And I'm shocked that Steiner's kid's there because I know they're not on good terms with the Steiners.
More so Scott, but
Rick.
Scott, not Rick.
Even Rick, it's Rick's son, but Rick they're not on the best of terms. I know they're not. It's not as bad as Scott Steiner, but
did you guys see the vignette for this kid from Chicago with the waste management shit?
Yes. The Italian, my family, yeah. That is Salvatore Sincere.
Oh my God. Salvatore Sincere.
They're gonna kill that product.
I mean, the look of it is horrible to me. Like the whole look of it is just terrible.
I get told Rumble. I feel like I'm going to the beach.
The glass barriers looked like they were bank teller fucking, I'm like, now you can't even do outside spots. Can't whip somebody into that glass.
No. Did you guys
broke? They're talking lawsuit.
Did you guys catch when Kazarian fought Cole that they mentioned is where he came from?
What
they said?
They mentioned he was trained by Killer.
Yep.
That was an excellent match.
Come on, Jay.
I expected more. Listen, for a match that was
from. Hey,
I expected more out of Cole. I didn't think it was
that assessment.
I did not think that Adam Cole, baby, lived up to the promo that he left the week before, that he would show all the WWE guys why he could be a top dog. Just sorry, dude. Like, I call it as I see it. I worked with Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian is one of the world's best. When I say best, I mean best true wrestler in the world. One of the top 5 true top talents in the world today. The only reason why we don't see it is he's got the personality of the pet rock.
I
See,
agree.
that's the worker in you guys. Like I nothing stuck out to me. Like nothing stuck out to me that it was off. Like say the Carmella and Zelina Vega tag match last night. Like that was a mess.
Yeah, what was that last night?
I didn't even see that. Was that on
No,
SmackDown?
Tony
Who
Storm
knows?
is just like
Yeah.
they're wasting her already.
I'm just thinking
Where's
with Adam Cole-
Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox? They just won 3 tag team women's qualifying matches, and they're nowhere.
They're in catering. They're eating.
I mean, I'm not going to argue or complain
I
about
need Tony Storm all day.
WWE logic anymore because nothing will ever make sense.
I just
don't-
rumble. I just rumble.
Hey.
I just think with Adam Cole, he didn't want to give him the whole birthday cake, just a little piece before it.
Can I tell you, he didn't even give me he didn't even give me one of them hoodsy ice creams that go with my birthday cake. I'm telling you, it was.
Well, it's not that bad.
buddy.
I'm with Sidewalk on this, Jay. I think you're really picking it apart too much.
Hold up, I'm not picking it apart. I'm expecting a barn burner. When you tell me that I am going to show the WWE that next week why I deserve to be the top talent, I expect a match just like John Cena and Shawn Michaels mirrored their 1 hour incredible matchup for WrestleMania to duplicate it again with different moves on Monday Night Raw. That's what I expect. If you tell me it's going to be incredible and it's just an average match for you two, which is better than the average match of any other two, that's what I'm saying.
It was probably still the best match of the night.
All right, but it wasn't what Adam Cole, baby, said it was going to be.
Give him some time, bro. His first match. Maybe he had some nerves.
No, whoa. Hold on right there. That wasn't his first match. He's had hundreds and hundreds of matches.
First match for AEW on TV.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
He should have set the tone high, and he did it.
It should have been. Listen. It was a real good match. I was expecting a Dave Meltzer 20. That's all. I didn't say it was bad. I was expecting, oh my God. And this is why you should have never let him go. That's what I was expecting.
Right on. I got you now, Rumble.
That's all I
I'd
mean.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, the WWE after that match should have their jaw down to their knees saying, "Why
That's
did you let
what
this
I
guy go?"
mean. If I'm in the production room sitting at NXT on Wednesday night after our office time, you can't tell me that there wasn't 10 to 12 guys around the round table going, we got to watch this one. Guaranteed. And they probably said, it was regular. That's all I mean. Did you hear what I said, Forbesy?
Well, Rumble, I guarantee in the next couple of weeks or to a month, they will be dropping their jaws to the ground.
I didn't say that, but last night when you tell me you're going to give me an incredible match, make my jaw drop. Don't make me go, yeah, that's Adam Cole, baby.
That's all. Rumble. Yep, I got you.
I was expecting a jaw dropper. Say I'm Triple H and Capelli, Shawn Michaels, and then we got Vince, Kevin Dunn, and a couple other knuckleheads sitting in the Performance Center after a hard day's work of evaluation. We turn the TV on because we know Adam Cole is going to kick the show off against Kazarian, another one of our former Performance Center stars back in the day. Both of those guys had the opportunity to make WWE personalities drop their jaws and go, holy shit, why did we let them go? No, that did not happen. Did they say those are two good? They would probably say two great workers, great match, but they would have did nothing for our Monday night ratings. That's what they're saying.
Did you guys cover the 6-man tag on Raw?
What, for Monday night?
What's there to cover?
What's there to cover?
I think it's good.
I do too. I think I said that. I feel that the entities that have not seen the New Day together in a year and the people who have not seen Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw for over 18 months, I believe it's a decent match to look forward to for the age demographic that does watch Monday Night Raw.
Do you think AEW is giving them the extra push there to kind of give us something different?
If they were giving us the push to give us something different, you know what they would have did? They would have just given us the one-on-one between Reigns and Big E on Monday night to go head-to-head with the one-on-one Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson.
Now, the one other thing me and Mike were arguing about was
the 6-man just doesn't do it to that.
Oh, I know.
Allure, but you know, you're right. To me, it's a step in the right place.
Can't they just end the brand split and let all the stars just go back and forth? Why would the networks be upset with that? You get fresh new matchups. I mean,
how about this? What Capelli said earlier is quite possibly the titles are going into one. How about once that happens, and then in a year they look at how the champion going back and forth and being on brands can benefit with just the total roster being split, with not being split, and every entity doing that.
My thing, guys, is with WWE product, I'm sick and fucking tired of the rematches. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. I thought Raw was decent. I was glad to see Bobby Lashley not have the title. I believe you'll see Lashley and Brock Lesnar finally go at it after, I'd say, in about 2 months. When the draft is all over, Lashley and Lesnar will end up on the same product, and everybody will get that MMA dream match that they've been so lusting for, so to speak.
Maybe Survivor Series?
Quite possibly. I could see it.
That's 2 months.
What do you think, Capelli?
Nope. Don't see it because you got Brock. They got Brock is signed for 8 matches from what I know. From what I read, it's 8 matches total for Brock. They're going to sporadically spread it out. And I know they've already announced it's him versus Roman Reigns of the Crown Jewel. And
what happens then? Do you think that Brock Lesnar wins the championship from Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel?
No way. No.
No more of this part-time bullshit.
No, they're not going to do that. Nope.
And that's what's about the Roman Reigns thing. It's this, and I brought this up several times. We're all interested in this Roman Reigns head of the table stuff, right? But the payoffs that we're waiting for are from fucking part-time guys, Cena, Rock, and Brock. It's like, how can they keep it moving forward? Because they just probably made Finn Balor do the demon for no reason because he's losing.
Yep.
It's just like they're still relying on the guys from the past.
I said it 6-8 months ago. I forget when it was. I'm telling you right now, the way this Roman Reigns storyline ends is when you have the true next big up and coming star defeat him, who is the most over person with the crowd. They've already started the gimmick. And you know exactly who it is.
Riddle?
Riddle. Yes. Because Riddle went on social media, called out fucking Roman, called out the WWE, said Roman isn't this and isn't that. He came recently out and said, yeah, maybe I'm a little big for my britches and this and that. Listen, he didn't put that up there without permission. It's to start the fire that eventually turns into the fucking blazing inferno.
Well, in a shoot, we know that Riddle would kick his ass in real life.
Of course, and he said that. He goes, in a real life fighting, he's like, I'd kick his ass.
But don't you think he's got to tone down the goofiness a little bit?
No, people love it. And you know what? It's going to eventually, his gimmick working with Randy. Randy's bringing him along. I'm telling you right now.
Randy.
I'm telling you right now, Matt Riddle will be the guy to eventually dethrone Roman Reigns. Roman will keep the belt probably through WrestleMania when he wrestles The Rock. But The Rock is next WrestleMania, not this WrestleMania.
I know. That's a long way off, man.
He ain't.
You think Roman Reigns is going to hold the belt for 3 years?
No, it ain't happening. This ain't Hulk Hogan.
Okay, Capelli, if it's not going to be Riddle, right?
It's got to be Riddle, I think.
Well, they're going to have to hotshot it a little faster, man, because they got no other babyface through the pipeline.
No, you don't hotshot it. You can't hotshot it.
No, I mean, I'm using the wrong terminology. What I'm saying is,
I know what you mean, but you got to let it build.
Outside of Riddle, Capelli, what credible babyface is in the pipeline right now that is believable enough to take the ball?
Nakamura.
No, Shinsuke Nakamura does not have the mockability, is not marketable to carry the company. Because you have to understand, the person that's going to carry that belt is carrying the company. The person that's going to take the belt off of Roman Reigns at this point is the person who's going to carry the company.
Outside of Riddle, who do you see, Capel?
It's only one other person I think that can carry the company, but he's retiring in 2 years. That's AJ Styles. But you turn him face. He's the only one that's going to generate a pop, who's marketable, who's believable. There's nobody, and that's the problem with the WWE. There is nobody. They don't have Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, you got to turn AJ. They got to turn AJ because
they will.
He lost a lot of steam with me.
It's coming, but they have nobody. They don't have Bray Wyatt there anymore. They don't have Daniel Bryan there anymore. They don't have these guys there anymore. They all said, fuck you, we're out of here.
Can you turn Seth Rollins babyface again?
Who?
Can you turn Seth Rollins babyface?
Maybe.
No,
he's
not now. Straight heel. Let him run as a heel.
You got to get him off the same show as Roman Reigns.
So putting somebody over like Big E and Kofi is that old news, or is that something we just can't depend on as a babyface?
You're not going to depend on it. No offense, but people are getting tired of the stick. The best thing they could have done was turn him heel. You know what they should have did? They should have did a double turn. They should have had Randy win the belt but get injured. The fans are popping for him and have Big E come out and do a double turn and turn the entire New Day heel. It would have been perfect.
Still could happen.
It ain't happening.
Because you got too many fucking heels.
It could, but it won't.
You got too many heels, man. They got to start changing some. They got to start creative. Has got to come up with interesting storylines to turn people babyface, like AJ.
They've already basically crapped on some good baby. Like you could Johnny Gargano could get over as a babyface on the main roster.
How about Dexter Lumis? He would be a babyface.
He would be, but on the main roster, Vince would fucking croak him.
Yeah, I know.
Capelli was right. If they would have kept Baron Corbin with the gimmick he had, the broke gimmick.
I agree 100%.
You could have had Baron. He could have been the biggest baby.
He was drawing sympathy with me, and I'd never been a fan of Corbin.
You do the breakdown. You break him down. You break him down. You break him down. He's a beaten, broken man. And then you bring somebody along who's like the face version of fucking Paul Heyman, pulls him out, brings him, builds him back up, and then unleashes him. And he fucking goes haywire. He had some of the best matches with Roman.
Yeah, they went totally backwards on that, man. I was like, oh, come on.
You fucked it all up.
It was the first time I ever liked Baron Corbin.
Me too. Yep. I didn't like him before. Now I love him.
Yep.
But they have nobody. That's the problem. They have nobody.
Well, you could have Rick Steiner's son pretty soon on the main roster as a babyface.
He ain't gonna go over. Listen, I didn't even know he was signed until yesterday.
Yeah, I knew they signed him 6 months ago. I'm cracking a joke because Vince likes all these big idiots, and that's the type of wrestling he wants. So I'm cracking a joke that Vince would put him on TV tomorrow. Basically, he already has.
Wouldn't be shocked if I see Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns again. Like, because Vince loves him, and I'm like, I'm not.
You know what, Belly, you're right. That's going to happen. That will happen.
It is. He's scheduled to wrestle him, I think, next month.
Ah,
on live shows.
okay. So maybe what do they do with Drew McIntyre? Is he not a baby face? So they turn him heel?
No, he's a baby.
I think he needs to go heel.
He's a baby. No, he's a baby. Vince loves it. He's a baby. Oh, okay. Yippee doo. Like, they have no babies.
Nope.
They have no babies. They have Matt Riddle. Randy Orton, they forced to go baby because of Riddle. They have no babies. Big E is not the baby that's going to get me to want to turn on TV. I'm sorry. And watch WWE television. He doesn't have the marketability. Sorry. Bobby Lashley, maybe, but not with a microphone in his hand.
Yeah, he's horrible with the mic.
I was okay with Big E. I thought I was happy. I was happy about
Brock
it.
got more of a baby pop than anybody but Riddle.
Well, Brock is a big baby, but here's the problem: the limitations on him. He can't be there every week because he only gets to work 8 days. That sucks.
Look at this. Let me go through the list. Right? You think about it. Cesaro, hell of a wrestler, no charisma.
He's dead.
Dead. Shinsuke, hell of a wrestler, not marketable though. Great wrestler, but an upper end mid card at best. Not main event material. Never was.
Right now, I'd rather see his partner Boogs than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Boogs, right? You go down the list. Kevin Owens, ruined, done. See you later. He's out. They ruined him, right? I go through fucking Raw, and I get Raw.
Who they gave Stone Cold's finisher, and if you listen to the beginning of his music, it sounds almost like the Stone Cold music.
Yeah. And then you got what do you have on Raw besides Matt Riddle and RK Bro? You have the fucking New Day, which I think I'm just tired of the New Day. I'm just tired of it. And that's it.
Do you remember Capelli when the Usos used to be kind of goofy?
Oh yeah.
And then they just went to black, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
and then they did the day one-ish.
Yes. Day one-ish. New Day needs to do that. I agree with you, but again, Vince is not he's targeting children, so that doesn't work for us. And I've said it many times in the room in certain paragraphs. It's just like there are no danger going out of business. It's just because we don't like it doesn't mean it isn't successful. So things don't have to make sense for those type of casual viewers and children. It just doesn't.
No. But I said it earlier tonight.
They're phasing us out as wrestling fans, but
remember that WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. Wow. It's still the wrestling business. It's still the business. And he needs to remember that. I'm telling you, what I said months ago, there's no doubt in my mind now that he wants AEW to step up to the plate. I'm telling you, he wants it.
Wow.
But the problem is, I don't think Vince knows how at this point right now. I don't think Vince knows how to write any longer. He's not in tune with his company. He's not in tune with his workers. He's not in tune with what the fans want anymore. Fans want realism. Like if he gave it, I said this earlier tonight in the show. What Vince needs to do, he needs to take a wrestler, and I said, ideally Seth Rollins would be a great person for it. But it probably would work better if it was Kevin Owens, and create the Pipe Bomb 2.0. And it would generate buzz. It would generate people and build off this gimmick. But he won't do it.
Like what MJF did last week was just like the bottom.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it earlier.
I call it MJF is the modern day Rowdy Piper.
Yeah. And even Ruby and Britt were pretty cool with what they went back and forth with.
Yeah.
That was realism. That was realism.
Yep. Instead we get Naomi cornering what's her face?
Sonya Deville.
And then immediately after, she's fined $15,000 for insubordination.
Yes,
like I fucking believe that.
Then I cringed at that because Michael Cole was just like, just breaking news. You know what I mean? It was just like, come on,
Michael Cole's
man.
A fucking retard. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
can't stand him.
It's like, why is Sonya Deville not wrestling anymore? Like I'm so sick of him and Pierce.
Supposedly that's going to be the gimmick. She's going to work a program with Naomi.
Well, good, because I was a fan of her in the ring.
Good. All right. Well, listen, boys, I'm about to wrap things up here. I think we've talked a lot about professional wrestling, things of that nature. I think it's been a great show tonight.
Hey,
Wish I
hold
got
on.
in earlier,
Jimmy
guys.
Fingers.
Yeah.
Tell me if you recognize this person.
That's my king. That's the Niagara Falls of misinformation.
Yes.
He knew I was coming on, and he wanted no part of it. He called me a keyboard clown, and then in parentheses, notice how I didn't say tough guy. He says, "Come on the show and face me." I was like, "All right, man, I'll see you tonight." I don't see him. Wrong.
The Bully King.
He didn't understand what that wrong and that this guy's a clown, and he didn't understand that those were his words.
Vin, you had him silent last week. I couldn't believe it. You had him silenced.
Got to put people in sometimes.
Window is just like, oh shit.
Sometimes people gonna be put in their fucking place. like Jay picked up on this one. I said when the shoe fits, and I showed him. Right, Jay?
Yeah, that's what I basically said to him. He don't like that, but I love Mike. He is what he is.
We all love Mike.
You know, he agreed with some of the things that he does have some some of his opinions are good. He sees the business for what it is. Sometimes it's just when when he's calling everybody a clown or your opinion doesn't matter. That's when sometimes you just gotta kind of fight back with him.
Shut up, you Mark. Yes, I'm a Mark.
We all are.
We all are.
That's what I laugh about too, because I'm never insulted by that word. It's like, yes, I am a Mark. I am a Mark for a lot of things. I am. All of us are.
So next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. and let's hope that we have a great week of wrestling again, so we can talk. I'm looking forward to the 4 hours. Looking forward to the 4 hours.
Hold on, guys. What I missed was who was it that reported that AEW beat them in the ratings again? Was that you, Vin?
2 weeks in a row.
But just in the demographic, though, right?
But that's the demographic, the 18 to 49 demographic. Yes.
I was shocked that the overall rating was still like it went down to like a 1.1 after like a great show. Like after the pay-per-view, it was a 1.4. Last week it was a 1.1. Next week should be a 1.7 with that match.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Raw or
no, Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that they're going to get close to 1.75 million.
Here, they're going to be affected though a little bit. You got to remember now, in Raw will be affected too. We're going to Monday Night Football now, and we're gonna remember TNT, TBS now has the NHL hockey deal.
Yeah, but I think AEW will do a better job competing with the NHL than wrestling competing.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a hockey fan, but it's a niche. But I mean, the biggest demographic is at 18 to 49, and 2 weeks in a row.
So how do they measure that? Like, what was the numbers? Like, how much of a difference in numbers was those?
2 weeks ago, they just beat them. It was like a 1 point. What I see, 1.7 to 1.5, something like that. But this week it was a similar, but I think it was like a 1.6 to a 1.4, something like that. It was around. That's what I read. But
how soon do you think they'll go to Monday? 6 months, a year?
Jay talked about this last week. I say 2 years. Jay said maybe a year.
I see fall of 2022, and then they will be adding AEW Dark will be a special Saturday or Sunday show on TBS, just like that they used to have WCW Saturday night and Sunday night.
If they move Dynamite to Monday night, like Rampage won't stay on a Friday night at 10. Like they could move that too, and maybe move that to Wednesday.
So here's one little tidbit as we go off for the week. Reported Networks are not happy with the direction of the WWE, especially Fox. Fox has I read the thing, and it said Fox is definitively considering not renegotiating and renewing the WWE deal on Fox.
Was that a 5-year deal, Vince?
I believe it was a 5-year deal. That they're
So we're
not happy.
Are we in the second year?
Third, I think, right? Second, I think we've had 2 full years. We're going into the third year.
Going into the third year of the deal.
So here's the thing: if you got a company, if you got a major network who was willing to pay to bring a wrestler in named CM Punk and still said no, and then you're releasing all this talent, and they were so high on Bray Wyatt. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Jay, how could Bray Wyatt avoid the 90-day? If you
talked about this already.
No, I'm sorry, guys. Is it you just forego the money that you are being paid?
It's the last 30 days, and you can forego it, and you have to pay it back. And there's probably an early contract termination fee. I would assume
that Tony Khan will probably pay, right? Like give Bray.
But here's the thing: as I said, it doesn't make sense to do it. Then I would say show him sitting in the audience. It makes more sense to wait the extra 30 days.
Yeah, because it's right on Halloween. It's like October 30th, and then they
October
got
29th, yeah.
And then they got the Full Gear pay-per-view like November 4th. So just wait it out.
And you build up because they're still building the Dark Order gimmick. Keep building it. Keep building it. Keep building
the story's written right there for them. It's
Hey,
I think that they were trying to cram it into the Rochester date.
Yep.
But that doesn't.
Don't do it.
Next week.
Let it go.
We've got to address the topic that of the wrestlers bringing the lawsuit against Vince McMahon. And it looks like a pretty strong lawsuit coming at Vince McMahon by current and former wrestlers.
For what?
Contract about being deemed independent contractors.
Oh.
So everybody should do their kind of collective investigation to it, and I think that should be a good topic for us next week.
Perfect. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you all for coming on tonight. I want to thank everybody out in Facebook land, YouTube, and Twitch for rewatching the program. And with that being said, you guys got any last-minute quick words?
Yes, I purposely extended the show by asking questions because I missed so much. So I know you guys wanted to go 15 minutes ago, but I just kept throwing shit out to keep us on.
I don't get paid overtime at work, but it's all right.
Hey, I'll just say this. When money talks, the Bully King walks. And you can take that to the bank, Mike King.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you got to say there, bedridden Sam?
Hopefully, I see the doctor again on Friday, so hopefully I'll be walking by the end of the week.
Yeah, I'd like to see you upright for a show, Sidewalk. It's been too long, man.
You just look way too comfortable. I bet you there's people that never seen this show before, and they probably think we're the greatest people in the world for letting the paralyzed guy on the show.
I was gonna come on just to rib, but
just bedridden like this. Yes, I know.
You guys,
he doesn't move his head or anything.
He's the Canadian Destroyer.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right,
fellas.
Listen. I'm just gonna say, I'll say it for them. For all the clowns out there, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm the Bully King.
As soon as
Mac Jones, go Patriots! Woo!
As soon as he's done with his show, he's going to be right on watching this show, and he's going to have a lot of comments.
Watch it, All right, boys.
All right, fellas.
Go Pats.
Go Pats. Have a good night, Facebook fans and Twitch and everybody. Woo!